Excuse the interruption. I needed to answer a telephone call. So humans have a capacity that machines, computers do not have, in that they can make sense of patterns and that they can identify a pattern of sensory input that is embedded in a background of noise, in other words, like static. By example, years ago when I was learning to be a private pilot, the instructor, we were in the plane together, he placed the plane on a path such that there was an airport clearly visible straight ahead of the plane and said, "Bruce, find an airport." And as I looked out across the horizon, I did not immediately see an airport because, I don't spend that much time in the air. I have learned to perceive sensory data from down here on the earth rather than from above the earth in an airplane. And what he was doing was helping my brain learn to recognize the appearance of an airport from a perspective from which it is very important to be able to recognize airports. And once I had done that, once I realized, oh, that's an airport right in front of us, then I was better prepared later when I did my solo flights to find airports and to land, which is incredibly important for pilots. So we can make sense of complex patterns. Computers can't do that nearly as well. They're working on computer vision and so forth, but computers are very limited in those kinds of abilities. Either to just... It's not just an issue of vision, it's an issue of making sense of what is in the field of vision. This chapter talks about several different things, even though it is a very short chapter. It talks about how automated systems can be designed with the capacity to capture knowledge baked into them, or can be designed to alert people when certain situations have arisen. This makes sense. Modern organizations are required to do an awful lot of data collection, analysis, and reporting. And it's costly for people to go back after the fact and try to figure out what happened and to fill out all the forms that are required for regulatory and other purposes. If the systems that are automated, that control the processes of an organization, are programmed in such a way that they capture, organize, and report the data as needed on the fly while the process is executing, then this is very good because it saves money, it saves time, and it just makes sense to do it this way. I need to speak for a few minutes about knowledge management as I understand it. Knowledge management is based in social networking, and it's about people's willingness to share what they know with each other. And information systems are down here underneath. Knowledge management, as I understand it, is above information systems. Knowledge management is about who talks to whom, who trusts whom, and how does knowledge that is potentially actionable get into the right mind in the organization at the right time. If knowledge exists in the organization and people are making strategic decisions, do not have that knowledge, it resides elsewhere in the organization in other minds, but it is not being applied where it needs to be applied, and decisions are being made with the benefit of knowledge that exists but is not known by the people who need to know it. Now, one approach to knowledge management is just tell everybody everything using the technology. It's called send to all in an email system. That's not good because you're flooding everybody in the organization with information they don't need to know. But there needs to be a way to help people tell the right people what they know and for the information to arrive where it is needed as quickly as possible. Knowledge does not reside only at the highest level of the organization, and nobody's mind has enough capacity to know everything that is known in the organization. So simply saying, well, tell everything to the boss and expect the boss to be able to deal with that bandwidth and to deal with that processing requirement and to deal with that memory capacity is unrealistic. But we can design ways that encourage people to tell what they know to the right people. It's kind of like landscaping. I can landscape a lot so that the water flows where I want it to be. And I don't have to pump it there, but I can create a landscape that causes the water to want to be where it needs to be. I don't know if that makes any sense to you or not. But knowledge management is about interpersonal relationships. It's about trust. And most importantly, it's about encouraging people to share what they know and rewarding people for sharing rather than hoarding their knowledge. Very briefly, a data warehouse is a collection of data about the past that strategic level managers need often to be able to access, because they often make decisions about the future based upon what is known about the past. Data warehousing is to support analytic processing systems. Transaction processing systems do not require data about the past. They only require data about right now. So I hope that by reading this chapter and by reading what I've written for you and listening to this video that you perhaps have a better understanding of knowledge management and its importance in organizations, including modern healthcare organizations. Thank you.